here's using social media for their practice? Quick show of hands. Really interesting. That's what I see across the board, apart from Adelaide. So the first course I did was Adelaide, and they all kind of went, no, it's different. Anyway, so going to start off with surveys. So here personally, when were you last on social media? Who's been on social media personally today? This is where I get lots of grins. Who here was on social media more than 5 times today? More than 10? More than 20? Countless. Yeah.
I've never even been on, haven't joined anything. I'm not on Facebook.
You're looking at that.
I personally can't stand social media.
Aha. But your patience,
Yeah.
you know. So seeing, you know, how many people in this room were on social media today. When was the last time you were on social media for your practice? Yeah. Anybody else who was on today? This week? This month? Yeah. I used to talk about social media and, you know, it's coming and you should think about it. It's here. You know, it's here. Your patients are on there. Again, I will say, find out, think about it. Is it right for you? Is it right for your practice? But really do seriously consider social media. Is anybody aware of how people actually shop, look for new services, look for new products nowadays? They go through a path and they check out your website. Think about yourself, thinking about anything, okay? Like a restaurant. Social media, website number 1, true? Number 2, reviews, everybody's favourite conversation. Number 3, social media, true? Okay, everybody's nodding. How do you think your patients are going to assess you or your potential patients? Website, reviews, social media. So the presentation is about retaining existing patients, but social media spreads across new patients, existing patients. I need you to think about it. ADX 2014, I presented on digital marketing and I presented on social media, and people looked at me like I was insane. Yeah. Now we're seeing that probably 2/3 of all practices have a social media presence for their practice, and it's not going away. Okay, so think about it. So why is this happening? Why are practices on social media? Because it is weird, isn't it? Let's face it. People are buying from people. Social media is where you can show the human side of your practice. Think about Bunnings, because conveniently they're across the road, and I'm sure that some of you are part there. How big is Bunnings a brand? Huge. Think about their adverts. Does it say we're Bunnings and we're huge? Or does it talk about Joe in the painting department and Fred in the gardening department? People are buying from people. Okay? If Bunnings are doing it, social media, it's about the people in your practice. It's about what makes you different. Okay? It's about showing the human side of your practice. And I know it does sound a little bit weird, but the social media that we're running for practices, the interactions, the likes, the comments when practices share about themselves is huge. People want to know this. Okay? It's important to them. Sure.
People look up people that are in your practice and then look them up on their own.
So you're saying the staff, the team. It's a good question.
Just wondering if you have,
Yeah.
staff member parties or.
Yeah, so this is where you need to be aware. So the question was, for anybody who didn't hear it, is what happens when people look up the people that work in your practice. So if you say that Joe, the receptionist, and they find out Joe, and they look at Joe's Facebook page and they see she's been partying all weekend, that affects your brand. Is that what you're saying? This is where two things. Either your team has different personas and they have their personal profile and they have their professional profile if they are commenting on posts. But there is a very easy way of actually being able to check what other people can see. You know, practice manager, practice owner, it's probably something that you should be checking anyway. And Susie, write a note. I'll actually record a video and I'll put it on the Facebook group of how you can check. You can get people to check their profiles, because there is a way that shows what the outside world can see. So if that's a concern, it's very easy check. I've never been asked that question. Good question. Any other questions at the moment? I carry on. Okay. So, you know, I've said that they want to assess, you know, new patients want to assess who you are, but existing patients care about you. They want to know more about you. So people often say, you know, there's so many social media platforms out there, what should I be doing? So number one, Facebook. You know, the world is on Facebook. Number two, Instagram. Are there any practices here playing with Instagram? What are you seeing as results?
Yeah, really good, because the Insta stories.
Yeah.
We're doing more videos on our snaps.
Fantastic. And you're seeing higher interaction?
People are looking at them,
Yeah.
which you don't really get to see on Facebook as much.
That's right. So we're seeing higher interactions, higher engagement. The reality is Instagram is still new. And I don't know whether you're aware it's owned by Facebook. Okay, so Instagram is on the up, which means that for you guys, you actually get more interactions. And I'll talk about it later, Facebook want you to pay. Reality. Instagram is still kind of new and they're trying to build it so that they can then obviously start charging even more for you to pay, but the interactions are good. So Instagram, if your game, is probably worth considering. YouTube, anybody here using video? Nobody? Okay. Video is very successful, has huge impact, hence the reason we're using video. And also double-edged sword, time, money, effort. Yeah. So YouTube, if you want to go there, is very effective, but it's number 3. Number 4, who's on Twitter? Yeah, exactly. So 1, 2, think about 3 would be my recommendation. If you're just starting out, just do Facebook. Do it well. Don't worry about anything else. So again, survey, 2/3 of people, Facebook, 1/3 of people, and these numbers aren't fixed, none. Instagram, 22. So that is really moving up, and all the rest, and then good old Google Plus is there hanging on in. Okay, so exactly what we've seen from the people in the room is what we're seeing around Australia as well. So the mistakes that we see from many practices is inconsistent post, haphazard. Don't really know what to post, so I won't do anything, or I'll just post 3 things in a week or in a day. Anybody guilty? Okay. Some practices will just post the same. Same. Here's a funny picture, here's a funny picture, here's a funny picture, okay? So you need to have a range. There needs to be a good mix. Generic posts. So again, you know, what you're adding, what you're saying here. So something that I like to use in this example is social media is like a dinner party. When you're going to a dinner party with your non-dental friends, do you just talk about one thing all the time? I hope you don't. Or do you kind of talk about various things? Do you stand there and go, me, 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 and I do this and I do that and I'm great at this and I love this? I hope not. Okay? And my favourite one is when you are at dinner with non-dental friends, do you show them procedural photos? No. I hope you don't, okay? If it's not okay at a dinner party, it's not okay on social media. And another one is if somebody says, oh, I like your shirt, or that is a beautiful dress, what do you say? Thanks. Or they ask you a question, do you just stand there and not say anything? The number of practices that do not respond to comments. Okay? If it's rude at a dinner party, it's rude. You know, social media. Same. Okay? So the poor quality, scary images, not okay. Not branding your images, not getting the most of that visibility and saying, hey, I'm here, this is my brand, this is my name, this is who we are. And again, not sending people back to their website, because that's what we want, isn't it? We want people to book, to go back to your website, to find out about your services. We're not just doing this because it's hey and it's cool and it's fun, and Carolyn said so. You actually want patients, so you need to send traffic back to your website. So tips is shareable content. You know, create something that's interesting, that's informative, that people want to read, that people want to engage in. Social media is visual, so lots of images, and images work. Dinner party conversation, and please do not share your scary photos, please. So again, because you're visual creatures, and I know you like examples, I've put together some examples of what we believe you should be putting on social media. So think about what makes you different right to the very beginning. You thought about what makes you different, so start talking about it. And here's a couple of examples. This practice has hot towels, so they talk about it. They show images of what makes them different. Noise cancelling headphones. Awesome idea. What makes them different? They are talking and sharing about it. It's pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, this practice, in fact, who's read this month's Bite magazine? It's got a 4-page spread on going to Nepal. Makes him different. This practice sponsors the local running team. Yeah, I know you guys are all doing things, but are you talking about it? Doesn't have to be same. What makes you different? Links back to your website. You need people to click, you need people to like. It is really important for SEO, search engine optimization, where you rank in Google if you have links back to your website and people have liked it. So, simple examples. Their preferred provider. Are you guys preferred providers? Do your patients even know? Are you talking about it? Social media. Start sharing it. Financing options, payment plans. Do you offer them? Do you just expect people to know organically, magically? You need to start talking about it. So quotes. I have to tell you a story of a practice who said to me, oh, quotes, I've heard that they're really effective. I'm like, that's great. He went, so I've spent 3 weeks looking for quotes, designing my own images. And he said, and I've got 2. He spent 3 weeks and got 2 quotes. Okay, quotes work, but there are smarter ways of being able to get some quotes. Okay, so beautiful quotes. It might be about what you believe in your practice, what makes you different, or it might just be quotes that you share. If any of you are lucky or unlucky enough to follow me on social media, we have the quotes going through, and the number of times people say, oh, that quote you put up yesterday, it was amazing. In fact, my husband did it last week. He went, oh, that quote was really good. It's like, because social media should be planned in advance and it should be scheduled in advance, I've got no idea, truthfully, I'm sorry guys, what is going out for my quotes. But people love quotes. People love images, people love pictures of babies. I don't know why. Okay? Quotes matter. What makes you different? Again, have it made up visually. Okay? Videos and Facebook Live. Anybody else doing any videos, any Facebook Live? Has anybody been experimenting?
Just on Snap.
Yeah.
It's always on Facebook.
Okay, so not yet on Facebook. So I'm sure that most people now have heard about SD. Have to tell you a sad story. My nephews in the UK were over from the UK, and he went, do you know, we come from the same suburb as the singing dentist. They're both 16. They went, next time I see him, should I get his autograph for you? And I'm like, yes, please. That's sad, I know. So he's gone crazy. You know, I'm not suggesting that any of you are going to turn into the singing dentist for Australia. But after my last seminar, a practice said, look, we really want to do this. Can you help us? So little practice up in Queensland started doing Facebook Live. They put together a video on how to brush your child's teeth. Not rocket science, okay? They got 43 shares, 3,500 views, and there were pages and pages and pages of comments. Isn't it cool? I feel so proud. It's like they did something I talked about, okay? Doesn't have to be hard. The most simple thing. Who here? 43 shares. The reach on that will have been insane. Little, very easy live video. Okay? Think about it. If somebody's brave in your practice that wants to stand in front of a camera, it's a good idea. You're saying no. Again, it's what's right for you and it's what is right for your practice. My job here is for you to think. Okay? Get some ideas. Next presentation, I'm hoping it might be you guys up there. Okay. And my favourite one. No more, please play. Look, they even put a video on. Okay? Why? And this is not just one dentist. You know, I see this. I follow you guys on all of your social media channels, okay?
That's good for other dentists.
It's
Dentists like seeing
awesome
stuff, but-
if your target market is another dentist. But the fact that you are all, or none of you are specialists here, not okay. My team love these. It's a highlight of their day.
We asked one of our patients because there was an intraoral photo of nothing even particularly nasty. And we sort of said, she actually looked at it,
Yeah.
me. Like, she couldn't even look at her own mouth.
Yeah.
So really for us to expect
But how,
people to look at other people's mouths.
but photos, guys, you know, how do you look at somebody's face?
Mm.
I know you guys have a little difference. Okay, the majority of the population see this. Okay? If it's not okay at a dinner party, please. Okay, so the thing about social media is it's a numbers game. Quite simply, the more you post, the more people get to see. Reality? If you post once a year, not many people are going to see it. If you're posting every day, more people will see it. Okay, so this is a practice that we started doing their social media for. So before they were doing, you know, a post here and a post here, and this was somebody that had a baby, so lots of people liked it. We started posting every single day. What happens? More people see it. You know, it's not rocket science here. The more you post, the more people see. By posting every day, for them, they got over 600% increase. And this is that practice. So for the last month, they got 1,700 people that saw their posts. So if they hadn't been posting, 1,700 people would not have seen their brand, would not have seen their practice. So if you're not thinking social media, you're thinking, okay, I don't really want 1,700 people finding out about me, potentially seeing my name. 688 people engaged in their posts. Numbers game.
Are these just normal posts, or are these like used to?
No, these are normal posts. I'm going to talk about boost now. These are normal posts. This is organic traffic. I can talk about boost now. Has anybody got any questions on that before I just go into boosting? Okay, or promotions. The reality is, the harsh reality is, Facebook wants you to pay. So around 4% is your organic reach. But remember, it's a numbers game. The more you post, the more organic reach you get. You post once a year, you get 4% of once a year. You post every day, you get 4% of every day. Okay? But social media wants you to pay. And actually, it's really quite effective, incredibly effective, and it's really quite cost effective. Is anybody else doing any boosting, any promotions? How are you finding it? A few of you, great.
Obviously, you get a lot more shares and likes.
Yep, lots more engagement.
I find a lot of the likes that I'm getting are the most random people liking my page.
Okay.
That have never, I actually go back into these people's and look at them.
And look who.
And it's random, never calling the practice.
So who are you targeting with your ads or your?
I'm kind of looking at within a radius of the practice.
Okay.
As much as I can.
So you're looking at a radius. How about you? Radius? Are you going any further in? Okay. I'll just explain. So Facebook wants you to advertise, and actually it makes it really effective for you to advertise, and the analysis on the people that you can advertise to is insane. I mean, absolutely crazy and quite scarily crazy. So you can pick a radius from your practice. You can say, I want male, female, I want this age. These interests, so you might want to say, likes this school or likes this soccer club, or status has just got engaged. You can even say their wealth. So you can say they are, I'm trying to remember the exact words. You can put in their income, or you can even say how, I wish I could remember, their net worth, high net worth. So they know everything, which is really scary, and that's a whole new conversation. But you can be so targeted with these ads. So targeted. So they are effective, scarily so, and it is the way that you get that increased reach. If you are posting things and you're getting the wrong engagement, then I'm guessing that the demographic isn't right. It is lower than AdWords, so if you are paying with Google to find patients, it may be worth looking. Facebook ads, the targeting capability is amazing. They are really effective for campaigns and promotions. Just boosting a random post, just saying, hey, I'm going to share this with everybody in a 20k radius is not necessarily the way to go. So there is a science behind this. And with any and every piece of marketing, you obviously need to track the return on investment. You need to make sure what's working, what isn't working. If it isn't working, then try again, refine things. The stats there are really very powerful. And just a couple of examples of things that you could be promoting out there. So, Mathguard's offer, this is charity based, it's going back to the local sporting club. So that's a great thing to be posting. And here's a practice that was relaunching, and they boosted or they promoted their video. So we did an opening special video for them, and they got 25,000 views. So you can get really high reach and really high engagement with the ads. So, social media strategy. You need to plan in advance. There's no point, just like email newsletters, doing things haphazardly and going, oh my God, it's Monday, I need to post something really exciting, okay? Tuesday, what am I going to do today? Work out a formula. You've got 5 days. What are you going to post every Monday? Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, okay? So it might be that Monday is your funny day, Tuesday might be your community day, Wednesday might be the team photo day, okay? Work out a formula. And then you can sit down with your team and say, okay, well, for the next quarter, I've got to think of 13 funny things, or 13 things to talk about oral health, or 13 photos of my team, okay? Do it in advance, plan in advance. Track what gets most posts, and then do more of it. And really consider Facebook ads. So some tips is make it somebody's day. 15 to 30 minutes, make sure they're not spending 4 hours. Okay, be consistent. If you're going to post, post. If you're going to post once a week, post once a week. If you're going to do 5, do 5, okay? Just make sure that it's there on a regular basis. If you can post every day, do it. Remember, it's a numbers game. You want the max of those 4%. If you're posting photos of your patients, release forms, and make sure that you know the APRA, the dental board regulations.